Hello people! So today we are going to be learning about Turtle, which is a module that you can use to draw shapes and make simple games, which we will be doing by the end of this tutorial series. But for now, we're just going to introduce you to Turtle. So first of all, you want to import Turtle. You imported Turtle, and then we want to create a screen. Let's call it screen. And then it equals to turtle.screen. And so we created the screen, and if we run Turtle, it just flashes for a second and goes away. So now this is because we've created the screen, it's there, but we haven't done anything with the screen. So the code finishes and nothing happens. So what you want to do is just create a game loop. Not a game loop, just a loop, which is going to be screen.main_loop. It's a pre-made function in the Turtle module. So when we run this, it'll stay there until you just quit the program. But you'll notice that when you quit it, it goes away and nothing happens. This is again because nothing is going to happen. So what we want to do is, so you've got a blank screen and a white screen. It's boring. So what we want to do is we want to change the color of it. So what you want to do, how you want to do that is by doing screen dot and then color, actually background color there, and then we want to let's just do it. Then we want to do it as, say, yellow. When we run Turtle now, this screen is yellow. Now you say, why is it always a red square screen and it's a usual size? So why is that? Say I want to create a game like the Dino game by Google. I want to create something like that, but you can't because the screen is too high. So what you want to do to change that is you go screen.setup and then width equals 1000 and then comma height equals 100, just to show you the size. And then when we run this should be a rectangle, a very long rectangle. And sometimes it does not work, so you just rerun it. And it's a very long yellow rectangle. Look at that. Ain't that beautiful? Now you can create your Dino game anytime you want. Except you don't know how. But we'll check on that later. How to create games. But for now, that's how you do it. Let's just make the screen a bit bigger and square. Actually, let's make it a rectangle. 800. So now you've got that, but nothing's on your screen. So it's pretty boring when you say. So now we need to create a sprite. So let's call it sprite. Sprite equals turtle dot turtle and then brackets, empty brackets, and then so now when you run Turtle and then you rerun it again, you can see that there's this little arrow right at this point 0, 0 on the grid. So imagine this is a grid, the y coordinate and the x coordinates. This is at 0, 0. So okay, and just so we don't have to click the red thingy, we can do screen.exit on click. So if we run this now, when we click, and actually we need to remove this loop. So when we run this now, when we click, it exits. When we click, it exits. As you can see, we've clicked and it went. So, okay, we've got that. But it's just an arrow. How can you create different shapes with it? Well, I'll tell you how. You do sprite, the name of your sprite, dot, let's say, shape. And then you can, I'll just list all the shapes that you can get. So, just just for this, we'll import random. Random dot choice shapes, and then so we'll make a list of all the shapes. So shapes equals empty list, and then there's the triangle, there's circle, there's square, and then there's turtle, and there's no name. That if you don't specify, then it's going to be that arrow, and then there is, well, I think that's all actually. Yeah, that's all of them. And then if we just run this, as you can see, the triangle now. If we exit and then rerun the program, it's a turtle. And then if we rerun the program, it's a turtle, and it's just either a square, a circle, a triangle, or a turtle. So now we can do colors. Now I'll also write out all the colors you can have. So colors. And there is red, blue, yellow, green, black, and white. And then we'll do sprite dot color, and then random dot choice colors. And so if we just run it, you can see it's yellow. If we rerun it, it's yellow again. It's yellow again. What is this luck I'm having? Mad, isn't it? So yellow again. What is this? Yellow again. That is pretty lucky. So if we just remove all of these, just to show you that there's red. What? Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. I was just looking at the wrong thing. So yeah, there is. If you look at the sprite, if we just copy this to the screen. And I'm so sorry that I was saying it's yellow again. I was just looking at the screen. So if I just change the screen color to also random, if we run this should hopefully give us 2 random colors. Oh, I didn't define colors. There. Yeah, you can see there are random colors, random shapes. So if we do that again, random color, random shape. You can just do anything you want with these random colors, random shapes. So now you're like, okay, but how do you make it draw? Well, I'll tell you how you can make it draw. So what you do is you write sprite, oops, wrong thing, sprite dot pen down. Then you write sprite dot forward, then 100. So when you run this, it'll draw a line of 100 in the right, right. See, 100. This is 100 pixels. So now you're like, how do you set the direction of where it's going? Well, you specify the direction, and how it works is on a normal protractor, it's a bit awkward, but on a normal protractor, this is 0. Oh, I clicked. Sorry. You're not meant to click. So this is 0. This is 90. 180, 270, 360, or 0. But in Python, it's 0, 90, 180, 270, and then 0. And so if you want it to head up, I'll give you a second to think about it. So to see what angle is going to be. So if you guessed 90, you'd be correct. So to set the heading and set the direction is you do sprite.setHeading, and then let's write 90, and then sprite.forward again, 100, and then when we run this, sometimes you have to run it again. If we run this, it'll go there and there, right angle. Now this is half a square, and I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about how we would make this into a square. So pause the video to think about it and code it yourself. But if you can't think of it, just watch on. So, where's my mouse? There. So what you do is you copy the sprite.setHeading 2 more times, and then you write 90, 180, 270, and then you run it, and it draws a square. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So that's how you draw a square. But this, just to type out sprite.forward each time, is you could say long. So I'm just going to introduce you to a new thing, and it's not all, and you don't have to use it in Turtle. So what it is, it's called a function. So I'll just get an example of a function. So here, let's go as def move. This is how you define a function. You say def, which means define, and then you write the name of your function followed by brackets, brackets, and then a colon. And then all of this is in the def move. Actually, let's just move this out of the def move. So there. And you'd see that if I run this right now and put move, it would be wrong. It would say that there's an error. Well, if I get it to run. There's expected an indent block. This is because to make a function, you need to indent everything after in the function, like this. So if we run this now, actually, I clicked the wrong thing. If we run this now, it'll draw a square for us. And then let's make it go another 100, and then we change the color of the sprite. Sprite.color is random.choice colors. So now if we move it and then move it again, and then actually let's create a while loop so we don't have to worry about all of this. And actually not a while loop, let's create a for loop, even better. For I in range 5, let's move. So when we run this, it should create some squares. Oh wait. Or not squares, well, random shapes. It should create like this H shape. So if we increase the screen, yeah, that's, you see it moved off the screen there. So let's make it, see this how it starts at 0, 0. Let's make it start at not 0, 0, but somewhere else. So how to do that is you do sprite dot go to, and then let's do 0, 500, because our screen is 800, so that should work. Yeah, so what? Oh, I put it in the move function, so this repeats, so we need to move it here. So I'll explain what the code does right now. So we create the screen, we create the sprite, then we make the sprite go to 0, 500, and then we make it move 5 times. So if we run this code now, look at this. It creates this interesting pattern, I'd say. I don't know what you'd use it for, but again, you see there's a gap here. That's because it was white. It was the white color. So that's really interesting. That's how you can create this sort of pattern. You can play around with the patterns, with the headings. And one thing I like to do is, instead of doing all of this, what I like to do is let's remove this. Column selection mode. Let's remove this. No, not this. Let's remove this. And then we want to set heading to a random distance. Not random. Not randint. 1 to 360. So this random angle is in 1 to 360. And then a random distance of 1 to 50. So this should create a really strange shape. And before we do this, let's put it. I just want to change one thing in the code. So we want to copy this, put it afterwards, and then remove the space, and then actually put pen up there. Sprite the pen up. So this makes it not draw when it goes to the coordinates, right? Dot pen up. Oh, and if you can see, you think about it, because it goes up the screen by 500, because the screen height, say this is the screen height is 800, but 0, 0 is here, so we need to change this to 390. 390. And now, when we run this, look at this. It creates a pretty strange thingy. And if we make it go this for around 20 and run it, if we run it, look at this. That is very strange. That's a very weird shape. And if we change the distance to 100 and change it so it starts at 0, 0, you can mess around with this code and just do whatever you want, but not fundamentally change the code, fundamentally change the differences. The distances and, oh my goodness, this is a very bad one. It's black and black. There. So this should just draw random stuff for 20 lines. And there you have it. You've made a sprite, you've made it go forward, you can change the shape, change the color, and you can make it draw random stuff. So that's introduction to the title module, and just to end it all, I'll show you what you can do with this code. So this is a bit more advanced, but you can do this. You can make it spawn random shapes of random colors in a grid like this, which is really interesting. And you can make the spacing, you can adjust the spacing of it. to make them all clumped up. So here you can see the spacing. And let's just change this to 10 and change this to 10. So if we run this again, the program again, it won't space them, and they just sort of stack on each other. And when just a really weird stuff, it's really weird, and it will just fill up a grid, and then it'll restart. It's just a really weird stacker sort of thing. And then that's what you can do here. And what else you can do, another thing I made, is you can do this. Input the color, which you can do, by the way. With the knowledge that you have, you can do this easily. And specify the color, let's say red. It moves, and then it spawns shapes in it spawns sprites in random spaces, and this goes on forever. So it'll do this forever as long as you keep the program open, and it'll do this, and basically the screen will be filled up by the end of this. So yeah, that's what you can do in Title Awesome. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button if you liked the video, and it'll help me out a lot and help me bring out more of these videos. And also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when the next tutorial video comes out. So see ya!